dangerous. I can make an Einstein feel brainless, but look on the bright side.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Carolina Panthers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals taking on the champions from the NFC, the Carolina Panthers. And off we go from Las Vegas. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of the Super Bowl will begin at the 25. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
Derek Brown, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Gotta hope that's not a sign of things to come as they face an early second and long. Burrow will throw. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On third down, Burrow. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Drop for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So on fourth down, on is Brad Robbins to punt for the Bengals. Shi Smith deep for Carolina. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
And as we know and as we've discussed here in the run-up to this game, this is history in the making. The first rookie quarterback to ever start in a Super Bowl. An absolutely tremendous accomplishment, something no one else has done. But he doesn't want to just go down as the first to make a Super Bowl. He's told us all week he's here to win it.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. He's going to let it go again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it, but that one was incomplete.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Bengals will get the football back. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first time. I'll try to do better here. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And here's Brad Robbins now. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Young. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Carolina. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expecting to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Miles Sanders taking it in from a yard out. And the Panthers are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Pinheiro's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The LSU connection, Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first. They'll drop to throw. Now Burrow loses the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also
nowhere to go here, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And, Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of...
And they clocked it up. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys will take over at their own
see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter two. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Young. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. Well, that is not what you want to see from him on the big stage, obviously. He's been so reliable all season long.
A big part of why they've gotten here to this game. But you have to wonder, will this haunt them later as the Super Bowl progresses?
They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Here we go.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Down inside the 40.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
That's complete to the tight end Sample. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll bring up a second and short.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
On second down, here's Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Derek Brown. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Now Burrow loses the football.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Here we go.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Burrow looking to pass. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Yetur Gross-Matos getting in there to make the play. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. McPherson's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Ready. Ready.
They go play action. Young. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays,
They run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Looking here for Smith downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Now Burrow to throw on second down. Open man is Chase, complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Here we go.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10.
Flow.
Now it's Burrow. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Now it's Burrow. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brian Burns drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up fourth down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. McPherson's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime here. One of the greatest performances of the year usually, but not here. Halftime of the Super Bowl is skipped, and we are on to the second half. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Taken at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
On first and 10, Young. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Now a second down throw for Young. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Burrow on 3rd down. He completes it to Boyd. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. How many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now here's Young. Now he'll let this one go. Deep left sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
He'll let this thing go for Sanders. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. Miles Sanders, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Panthers will extend their 3rd quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Slot man moves right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Young. That is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Young to throw again on 2nd and 10. And this one into the hands of DJ Sharp. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. To throw, Young. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Touchdown! Hayden Hurst, 38 yards. And the Panthers are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Well, Bryce and that Panthers offense, they're going to stay out there and go for 2. The Young's going to throw for this. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. Cincinnati set to take over once again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's Burrow. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Jeremy Chin, so dangerous wherever he's at on the field, and that time he gets in there for the sack.
11.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start in the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
On third down, Burrow. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
First down, Young. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action.
Here we go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Ready?
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Another run with Sanders. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach...
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Bengals grab it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Well, he's not this. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of... Afterwards, this is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Second and a couple. Now Young. This is Chenault on the receiving end. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
On the ready.
Looking to throw, Young. That's over the middle and caught by Mingo. Touchdown, Panthers. Jonathan Mingo, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Panthers are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. And out now, here come the Bengals. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. First down, here's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the ball.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Trenton Irwin, 38 yards. And the Bengals are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
85 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Young. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Ready?
Young on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Going for it with Sanders. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Ready, ready. Quick, yellow. Ready.
Another run here with Sanders. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Faster, faster.
Out of the gun, it's Young. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Ready.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. Right back to Sanders on first down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal. Hubbard is into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points.
Under pressure, they got him again. Kamu Krujay-Hill getting in there and taking him down.
Here we go.
That's it. It's all over. And the Carolina Panthers are your Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in their most remarkable remarkable of ways they get to put next to their name Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the